So there's literally someone out there that'll listen to this podcast, and if they're smart enough to listen and take the advice, they're literally 8 weeks away from a new life.
Yeah. And that's why for all my mates and that, I love to give anyone advice on it. It can be done. You just got to have the right mindset, right mind frame, and you can do it. If it's true to you and it's what you love, you'll get it.
G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Level Up. We're back in the shed, and this is actually the first recording for 2024. This is going to be an absolute cracker, not just this podcast, but 2024. I'm actually super excited about this one today. We've just done a little bit of a warm-up, a bit of breath work, but this is going to be fucking awesome. So I'm not going to say too much, but a massive warm welcome to Trent from Brains Bins. How are you?
Good, Duayne. How are you, mate? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, mate, we've never met until about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I don't spend a lot of time on social media like everyone thinks I do. But I literally, most of the time, it's just get on there, post the shit I want to post, and get off. And one Friday afternoon, not so long ago, I was on there, I logged in, and you popped up, and you were doing a give us your noise, like you did a yoo-hoo
for Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday, and you were dropping a bin off at, I think it was Sandgate Primary School or something for a fundraiser, and you're like I just connected with it. You're like doing a shout out, like support local, get down here on the weekend, come to the school fete. Yeah. And I'm like, this guy is a fucking legend. So I reached out to you, and here you are today.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, mate. And here we are to chat.
Yeah, and mate, look, this podcast is like, you've started following me now. Like, I'm on a mission to create a new industry, and a big part of that, and we're having a lot of success now, is through the podcast and just giving people a platform to tell their stories. And just watching you on your socials and then talking to you for the last 10 minutes, mate, like you've inspired the crap out of me. And so I know that the conversation that we're going to have here today is going to inspire a lot of people. So like, let's get cracking, mate. Like you're a character, you're a larrikin. You've been in business for 2 years now?
Yeah, just 2 years. Yep.
Yep. But like, so it's Brains Bins. So you run skip bins.
Yep.
Around Brisbane. You've had to make a call at some point to go it on your own, break the mold, and start your own business. Like, how old are you?
Just turned 30 in January.
Yeah, so you're a young fella. So I just think it's unreal, mate. So I want to hear your story. I want you to tell all the listeners your story so you inspire them. For anyone that's sitting out there and wants to change or thinks like is letting their mindset hold them back from starting their own job and stuff. So what's your background? Like, where'd you come from?
Yeah, so I just worked at JJ Richards for about 5 years, just at Brendale there, doing big days, 4 a.m., 4 p.m., working on the Saturday, all your public holidays. And I loved it, I just absolutely loved it, picking up rubbish in the city, from the city to Caboolture. It was just awesome. I just enjoyed it. But I just knew at the end of the day that there just had to be a little bit more to it, And I just knew there was more to me running a business.
Yeah.
So
for those that don't know, JJ Richards is a waste...
massive waste company. They're huge. They do front lift, compactors, everything.
Yeah.
So
what you were driving?
A little rear loader. So they do all the little plastic bins in the laneways, corridors for cafes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what, like, is business something you've always sort of thought you might have a crack at? Like, what's your background?
I sort of, when I was a bit younger, I always thought I wanted to, run a business and stuff like that, but it just never came along that I could do it, I just always thought, you just work for a boss. My parents always worked for someone, so you just thought that's normally what you do.
I was going to ask, like, what did your parents have their own business?
Nah, both of my parents just worked at Campbell's Cash and Carry at Virginia there for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So they've just worked for the same company, same people their whole life, sort of thing,
Well, it's a common mentality, isn't it? Like,
very.
Obviously the schooling, I don't know, I got my own opinions on everything, but the schooling system's very one size fits all, and like, unless you've got a bit of initiative, like, reality is that's what most people end up doing, is just working for the man. Like,
yeah, and especially the older generations and stuff like that, you know, they wouldn't leave unless it's full time. They wouldn't leave for casual work, you know, but now that's all there is casual work, you know?
Yeah, with a lot of businesses,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so what, you've been going 2 years, so 2 years ago, 27, 28, like, obviously you got to have big balls to take the leap to leave a good paying job with holiday pay and overtime and all that stuff, and have a crack on your own.
Yeah, and there was just a lot of times where, you know, I'd go home and say to the missus, like, you know, we're going to do it, you know, like we're going to break through. Then I'd just come back to the old, you know, oh, it's going to be too hard, you know, we might not get clients, and just the old limiting beliefs kicked in. And you just think, you know, it might not happen, you know, you come up with all these ideas that, you know, probably aren't even true.
So what like, how do you know that? Like, this stuff amazes me. Like, all
this came along. So we were all like just cruising along doing this. I was working, and my missus all of a sudden started to get into personal development. And then
best thing ever, mate.
Yeah.
Best thing you can spend time and money on.
Yeah. So, and then she got into this little mindset course to change your mindset and your limiting beliefs. And she was sitting down doing it every night and just telling me what it was doing. And it was just like literally mind-boggling, because everything she was saying about, you know, just you do it, say stories in your own head and stuff like that, I could just relate to it so much. Like, that's me, you know, I've got limiting beliefs, and I just didn't have the right mindset to take that next leap.
Mate, that is, well, it depends when it comes out or whatever, but it possibly would have been out before this podcast goes out, but we recently recorded a podcast with a lady called Dr. Joelucans, and she's an incredible woman, very successful. She helps the Cowboys team, like heaps of sporting teams and heaps of athletes, but her big thing is the stories you tell yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know, like I've realised now, like that is what held me back until I was in my mid-30s.
Yeah.
Like I used to, and if you listen to podcast, anyone listen to podcasts will hear me say this all the time. Like I used to tell myself I was a school dropout, I wasn't smart enough, I can't read and write. Like all this shit that was just forcing the universe to hold me back.
Yeah, making up stories, yeah.
Yeah. So like, what's your missus do?
She's a deputy registrar in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
She just all of a sudden got onto personal development and mindset, and now it's just her huge passion. She just loves it, and every day she's just trying to kick goals because all it does is just better yourself.
Yeah.
Every day you just kicking new goals for your beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, I love it, and it's incredible how the world works, isn't it? Because if you hadn't been inspired by your wife and done what you've done, you wouldn't be sitting here today having a conversation. And like we've already talked a bit about breath work and that sort of thing, but like once you break those old habits, it's unbelievable how quickly shit happens, isn't it? Oh,
it's amazing. And you just want to, once you break them few things holding you back, you just want to keep striving and keep bettering yourself. And you want to help other people and try and make your people closest to you. You want to try help them better themselves as well.
No, mate, I know for a fact now, and I'm not blowing wind up your ass, but you're going to help a lot of people, because the whole reason why I connected with you, like the videos you're putting out on your social are just, they're not only helping your business, but you're just a larrikin that's having a crack, and like the way you talk, and it's just, I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
So walk us through, like, so you obviously got to a point where you're like, fuck it, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like, and so then, you sitting at home looking online for prices of trucks and like...
Yeah, so then it all happened, like we had to do a bit of background work, because it was like, then I was new to it all. I hadn't registered an ABN, I hadn't done any of that. But then, because I was working for JJ Richards, once I'd done a bit of background check, it was a conflict of interest. So then I had to resign from my job before I could take any moves. So then we pretty much got everything ready to rock and roll, you know, finance, sort of found a truck, half ordered bins, and then we resigned from JJ. I resigned from JJ's, and then it was just go busters.
Yeah.
So then we found a truck. We went out to, it was out at Kingaroy, went and picked it up, and then it was old. It was 50 grand off an ex-skip company. Had to get it all fixed up, repainted, bought some old skips, got them resprayed, all the holes fixed. And then...
So do you do some of this stuff yourself?
No, we had to outsource it all because there was just, it came to the time, you know. So I just spoke to a lot of people I know, and my sister works at Superior Pack where they build garbage trucks.
Yeah.
So because they were willing to help me out, fix a few things, paint the truck up, paint the bins.
Yeah.
So that was a massive help. And then, yeah, just created a little website from a coffee guy I met when I used to pick the bins up there. Went back and seen him and said, Pete, it's time to make that website, mate. And he was more than happy, created the website. And then, yeah, just spoke to a lot of my friends and family, and the work just started coming in. That one phone call came from ACM Constructions. It was the first call. We were standing at home, me and my partner. The phone rang, and I said, what do I do? She goes, answer it. I said, hello, Trent from Brains Bins. And it was the first ever skip, first phone call. I'll never forget it, you know? And I just, yeah, it's just, from then, it's just one thing's led to another.
That is so fucking awesome, mate. So what's the story now? Like 2 years in, how many bins you got?
2 years in, we've just hit 85 skips.
Shit.
And about 6 months ago, we just purchased a new truck.
Mate, fuck, I want to come over and give you a hug. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
So, do you get a lot of work through your socials, or like, is it word of mouth? Or
a lot of my work is purely, all our work is through word of mouth and Instagram.
Yeah.
We don't pay any advertising, nothing. All we got was that website made up at the start, and that's no Google leads, nothing, just purely word of mouth and Instagram. Yeah.
So it's obviously there's a lot more to it than that. Like and look, the reason I want to dive into it is because like I said before, I know there will be people out there that listen to this podcast that it's running through their brain, like, I want to start my own business. Like, how do I do it? Like, and so you've talked about how you've changed your mindset and those limiting beliefs and things, but like, they don't just stop. Like, I'm sure there's been a lot of points through purchasing your truck and like, and even making, I'm sure when you're buying that new truck, you're saying, oh fuck, this is going to be a lot of finance. Oh, I've never had this much debt. Like, those thoughts never stop, do they?
No, they never do. And that's where you got to implement stuff like, you know, one little thing I try to do most mornings is my affirmations, just 3 affirmations every morning, just get my head clear, ready to rock and roll. As soon as I jump in the truck, just boom, that's what I do every morning.
Yeah. So for people that don't know what that is, what are you doing?
So affirmations, it's something you tell yourself like, I will be good today, I am great, I love work. And you say that over and over again, say 5 or 10 times, and it just implements what you're feeling that morning.
Mate, I love it. I absolutely love it. Because this, like, people look at, like, listen to this podcast and they follow all my shit on socials, and they think that it's different for me, like, because of where I've gotten to. But just like you said, like, I still have to do that every day.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people, like, I fight my demons every single day. And I think, well, it doesn't matter if you're working for someone else or you've worked your way up to a billionaire. Like, it's how you choose to deal with those demons that makes the difference. Like, I call them demons. You can call them whatever you like. But, yeah, I regularly have to tell myself, like, you are good enough to be doing this.
Yeah.
You do have the right to do this. You do have enough experience to be telling people this. Like, it's powerful stuff.
Yeah, and you just got to have the positive mindset to be able to move forward.
Yeah, and shit happens, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, mate. There's always shit happening, and you cock up and you fuck up, you hit something, and you go backwards, and you think, you know, I've done that for free or whatever. But it's as long as you learn from your failures, that's all you can ask for. You just learn and think back and go, that's where I stuffed up. This is where I go moving forward.
Mate, I need a Brad Lee dropping bombs, bloody sound, bloody button here, mate, because you're dropping bombs everywhere.
Yeah, cheers.
So, like, what's your plan now? So is it still only you, or like, do you plan to grow and hire people, or?
Yeah, so we're still just me, and the partner doing all the back end admin, pricing, bookkeeping, and then we'll just sort of see where 2024 brings us. We'll just keep cruising along in the new truck, keep trying to grow the business, get some bigger clients, and then see where 2024 ends up.
Yeah. So you've had to, you were saying before, like you're renting a little yard now, so you got all your bins and stuff there. Like, I'm sure that was another thing that you had to tell yourself. Like,
yeah, that was just another leap, you know. But having that block of dirt down there, it just means you got your own bin storage, and when it comes to it, you can, you know, if you got a bit of spare time, sort your rubbish.
Yeah. So you were saying before, and I definitely want to chat more to you about it, but like you've got a passion for waste. Like, where's that come from?
I don't know. It's just, even when I've just always had a passion for waste and garbage and garbage trucks, it's just always been my little thing. I've just always had a passion for it with landfills and recycling.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, do you think that's where it comes from? Is it more well, how can we help? How can we reduce? Like, what can we do better to stop everything going in a hole in the ground? Yeah,
that's exactly right. And that's where I think, you know, even if I'm doing one little bit to reduce it, it's helping, you know, sort a bit of concrete with concrete rather than going into a landfill. It's just helping, you know, then that's going straight back out the door as CBR and stuff like that for the next job.
Yeah. So when you got a bit of spare time, do you take the time to do that, like sort a bit of rubbish out?
Yeah. If I've got a bit of spare time, I'll go down the yard and sort through a skip and put the concrete with concrete, timber with timber, and cardboard with cardboard, and then I'll take the cardboard to a cardboard recycler, so then it gets baled up, and then goes to China and gets reused.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't do much, but every little bit does count.
Man, it's doing a heap.
Yeah.
Like, and you're going to inspire a lot of people, because like building waste is one of the biggest contributors to the waste problem in the world. Like, and we are definitely trying to do better in our business with it. Like, we've got our own tipping trailers. We don't use them on every job, but and look, you might prove me wrong, but like, one of the reasons behind that was because we've got our own trailer, like we can take it to a facility that tells us that they recycle it. It's not just taken straight out to a hole in the ground.
Yep.
And I know, like, the few times I've taken the trailer there, like, I think they do. Like, I see the material handler pulling lengths of timber out and separate it. Like, it's pretty, waste does amaze me as well. Like, you're driving the facility, the truck's covered in cameras, they see what you've got in the back, and they tell you before you've even told them, oh, I see you got a load of concrete, make sure you dump that in the concrete. Like, every little bit really helps, and I think it's really important to spread this type of message to our industry, that we play a massive role. Like, we need to, whether it's allow more cost as builders or tradies when we're pricing our work for a tiny little bit of extra time, to do a little bit of waste separation, or like something else we do in our jobs. You would have walked past it outside. Like, we pull pretty much any usable hardwood out of all the renovations we do. Like, that's why we got piles of timber outside done to plastic, and electrical wire, copper piping, old air conditioning units. Like, whenever we do renovations, like, we separate all that, and like, the supervisor will go around a couple of jobs and get a trailer full of metal. We take that to the scrappies. If there's any trees or hedges or stuff we got to cut in, we'll take them to green waste. Like, we're trying to do a little bit,
Yeah, and all that just is huge, you know. That's massive. But once you said, it all comes down to time. You know, you've got a supervisor out there running around being able to do that. You know, that's not sometimes viable for all the job sites.
Yeah, well, that's where I need to talk to you. Like, we need to go into business and fucking separate people's rubbish.
Yeah, start making it all viable. No more wastage.
So, like, is that a goal of yours, like, as well as growing the bins and the trucks? Like, do you want to get more into the recycling?
Yeah, it is, and I'll always be passionate about it. And whenever I have time, that's what I'll be doing. You know, I'll be down the yard sorting this with that. But it all just comes down to the time factor and having someone else down the yard to be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, machinery, big block of dirt, stuff like that. But if you get that, then you could start having pretty much 90% recyclables.
Yeah. Yeah. Mate, for people, again, like, and look, if you don't want to answer these questions, it's all good. But again, I know there's a lot of people out there that are just finding those excuses as to why not to go out on their own. Like, I'm sure getting finance wasn't an easy process.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's where we just had to do up a bit of a business plan. Got all the pricing, all the structures, price of a truck, website, put all that forward to the broker, and then they then got us finance to then purchase the truck and the few bins.
Yeah. And I'm sure there would have been some like times there where you're like, fuck it. Like, why do they keep wanting more information?
Oh, it was just not backwards and forwards. They just wanted this, what your house is worth, what your car's worth, what your contents are worth. It was just constant backwards and forwards, you know. It was a bit tiring to get to that final stage. Once we got that tick of approval, you know, it was just amazing.
The beers were popping.
Yeah.
But it's all stuff that you have to work through, isn't it? And I think the message to get across to people is it's all doable.
Yeah, it's just never give up, and if you're passionate about it, you can do it. Yeah. You know, just keep kicking away and you'll get there. So
with your finance side of things, like, did they take into account your previous employment and the salary or the wage and stuff you're getting there, or was it completely based on the business plan?
Yeah, completely based on the business plan. Yeah, my previous employer wasn't involved at all.
Yeah.
So it was just, I had to do it all structured. And then what we were going to make, each skip was going to make for that month. So we're going to do 10 6-metre skips, and then you'd take 50%, 60% out of that for wastage and transport, and that's what the remainder was.
Yeah. So, like, how did you would have to do a shitload of homework. Like, did you have to get on the internet and bloody...
Yeah, I probably spent 48 hours just on all the skip sites and calling all the transfer facilities, sending emails, getting pricing, getting tonnages. It was just consistent, you know?
So because you have to pay to dump the waste you pick up at waste facilities.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You got to be very mindful of it because every waste is also different weight. You know, you got your concrete, your soil. But then after a while, you start to realise, 1 cube of concrete's 1.7 tonnes. So you start to be able to break down what the weights are going to be, which transfer to take it to make it more viable.
Yeah, because all the facilities charge different fees, don't they?
That's right. Yeah. And if you take a soil bin to, BMI at Nudgee, and it's a mixed load, you're charging $600 for the bin, and it costs you $900 to dump it. So that's not too viable. Yeah.
Oh mate, I love it. So you're I've never thought about this until you're sitting here now. So when you go to pick a bin up from a job site, you have to have a squiz in the bin to see where you're going to take it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and you got to be very mindful of it, and that's why when you ask the builder or the site foreman what's going to be in it, you got to be very finger on the pulse to know what's in the bin.
Yeah, well, I think I'm sure there's lots of arsehole builders out there that don't, but I would take that seriously, because if you ask me what I'm putting in the bin and you're doing that for a reason, and then I go and put something else in it, knowing that now, just from that conversation, that 5-second conversation or sentence you just had, I'll be more conscious of that now. Like I'll inform my team on site about that and my supervisor, because if we are using bins, I don't want to be putting the skip bin company out because I'm putting the wrong type of shit in there.
No, and that's right. And then like it all comes down to streamlining, if possible. You know, keep the soil with soil, concrete with concrete. Then it'll go to it. They'll both go to their own recycler and get reused.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, how much gear can you store at your yard? Like, what's the options at the moment for recycling stuff?
Yeah, so it's pretty tight at the moment. So probably got 600 squares, but that's all just chock-a-block full of full skip bins and old bins. So I just got a little pile there at the front of the yard with me scrap, me copper, cable, timber, concrete, just so when I get a skip that I got time, I put it in the front, and then I just start chook picking at it and sorting it out. Yeah,
that is so good, mate. I know there's going to be a lot of builders, well, I hope there is a lot of builders in Brisbane that reach out to you, because I think it's just something that we all have to do. I know there's companies in Melbourne, I know a lot of builders in Melbourne that they have like a plasterboard pile, a plastics pile, a brick and concrete pile, a timber pile, and there seems to be a lot more companies down there that do allow builders to separate their rubbish, but I haven't really come across that up here.
No, because even like your poly pipe, you know, there's like companies like ResiTech. They take all your poly pipe, all your plastic, take it, chop it all up, crush it, remelt it, and they sell it off as new plastic.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just 100% recycling. There's even a styrofoam little manufacturer at Hammett. They melt and combine all styrofoam into little blocks, and then they on-sell that as well. So a styrofoam recycler. So pretty much as people don't like to think so, pretty much everything is recyclable.
Yeah. So you, like, mate, you found these places?
Yeah, and I've just always had like I say to you, I like to talk about waste and like what's going on here. Oh, what are you doing over there? You know, and like people do call me Mrs. Mangle. You know, I do like to, know what's going on around the neighbourhood, but it's all for my own good. You know, I just
So, like, that's something else I've always wondered with the bins. Like, and again, it's all a time thing and a cost thing, but it's always amazed me that you can't get a bin that's got dividers in it. So, like, you get an 8 metre bin or a 12 metre bin on site, and it might have 3 or 4 dividers in it, so that on site you do have the ability to put different waste in. But obviously, when that gets to wherever it's going, it's then got to be re-unloaded and
and then with the skip bin, they just tip it straight over. So then, unless you're going to pull that aside and chook pick it out of each compartment, it's just going to all go straight into the same C&D pile.
Yeah. No, well, you and I need to work on a solution for that, mate. Need a side tip and bin or something. We'll talk more about that. But I got all these crazy ideas, mate. I have so many ideas, and I don't have enough time or money to implement them all. But that's why I need to team up with people like yourself that are passionate and motivated and kicking goals. Yeah. Like, do you pinch yourself to think that 2 years ago you were working for someone else?
I'll get home some days and just say to the missus, like, you know, like I just driving along and I just like, this is my truck and my bins. It's like, I can't believe it's true, you know, like, finally got there, and it is possible for everyone to do it, you know?
Is there, like, so being so inquisitive like you are, like, are you, now that you're in business and you're passionate about it, like, are you mingling with other people? Like, are you talking to other people about business or?
I'm always on the front foot trying to, you know, talk to people about other businesses and what they're doing. And that's why, you know, if someone's doing a renovation on a big job, I'll 90% have a walkthrough at the end to see what the final product's like, to see, just get an idea, you know. I just do that to pretty much every job that I drop a bin off to.
Yeah.
And it's just so I got a good understanding and I know what's going on, know what I like and where you can make a difference also. Yeah.
What's the, like, in your videos, like, you always give a shout out to the company that you're picking the bin up for. Like, is is that just a courtesy thing, or like
yeah, I know they want to support me. You know, they're supporting me and Brains Bins. I just feel like, you know, it's a bit of a appreciation and a thank you to go, you know, thanks for using Brains Bins. I'll give you a shout out, you know.
It's so good, mate. I love your passion. It's infectious. The so what's the like? Do you journal? Like do you journal, write down goals and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, no, we have like, so coming into 2024, my partner and I just sat down and done a life audit for 2024 and just seeing, you know, budgets, where we can make a difference and things that we can improve on, you know, starting 2024.
So what's some of the goals for Brains Bins, mate?
Just want to be a bit more streamlined. We want to try get a bit more apps in play, like Bin Manager and stuff like that, because I'm still using an old school paper diary. So, you know,
typical tradie, mate.
Yeah, typical tradie. Just want to get in, just streamline things a bit and just make it so I've got a bit more time to go out, see clients, customer relations, and then even sort a bit more rubbish, you know, because if you look after the admin side and get all that down pat, all that does is leave more time to you to do what you truly enjoy.
Mate, I'm not laughing at you. I'm so excited to hear someone like yourself that's been doing it for 2 years and like you are just dropping bombs everywhere. Like this is going to inspire so many people, even people that have been in business for a long time, because like reality is the mindset and the stories we tell ourselves, like that affects every single one of us.
Oh, 100%.
And
yeah.
Even the wording you use in those stories, like you can tell yourself, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example, but like I talk about things as if I've already achieved or done them. And like, that's been a massive game changer for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't say I will do that or I'm going to do that. Like it's all I've done that.
Yeah.
Like, and so even the words you use in your stories are such powerful things, and it's like everyone would have heard me talk about it before. Like I firmly believe now that those stories come from our childhood and the people we're surrounded with, and like something I'm really passionate about is I want people to figure out who they really are. Like you don't have to be the person that you were. Like you don't have to be the same religion as your family. You don't have to have the same beliefs as your family or whoever brought you up. You don't have to have the same opinions as the people around you. Like you're allowed to be yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's just it. When the people, it just takes over the brain sometimes. All the negativity, the socials, all that stuff. You think, you know, I should have this, I should be doing that. But you just got to come back to what's true to you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So you seem like a pretty down to earth bloke. Like you and your missus pretty chilled out. Like,
yeah, pretty relaxed, mate. Yeah.
I think that's the best way to be, isn't it? Like you just got to run your own race.
Yeah, that's right. And you just don't got to worry about what anyone else is doing, mate. You know, that's why someone like me, I don't even have Facebook, you know, just don't, because everyone spends 20 minutes on Facebook, you know, scrolling up and down. You're just looking at what everyone else is doing, you know, worry about what you're doing. And that's the main focus. You and your family and your friends, just keep moving forward.
Who gives a fuck about anyone else?
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, what are they doing? Oh, look what Jerry's got. Who cares about Jerry, you know? Fuck. So it's just, all about being happy and, just kicking them goals what are true to you.
Yeah. Have you got kids?
Yeah, we got a 10-week-old and a 3-year-old.
Yeah, good
So,
on you.
you know, 10-week-old at home, it doesn't stop, you know, come home from work and it's just gangbusters. But I love it, you know. If I need to finish early, you know, Mrs. has had a hard day, all right, I'll put that bin on to tomorrow. I don't got to call up the boss going, oh, mate, you know, can I knock off early? Just stuff like that, you know. You can't put a price tag on that stuff. It just means so much.
Yeah, 100%. And like to have that mindset that you've got now with your kids at your age, like just means that your kids are going to get a lot of time with you.
Yeah, and that like, you know, you say to the missus all the time, you just want to drum this into the kids, you know, like just mindset, positive, and just do what you want to do in life. Don't let anyone hold you back and just go for it.
Do you? I'm curious to know because, like, it's definitely something that I've seen as I feel like the more time and energy you put into yourself, and the more of those old beliefs you break, and the more you run your own race, you the more people you upset, and your circle of friends changes. Even the amount of time or the family members that you hang out with can all change, because most people see personal development as jealousy. Like, you're doing better, like, who are you to do that, or why should you have that, or all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I know my personal opinion is Aussies tend to be quite bad of it. Like, instead of, like I said before, like, fucking giving you a hug and a massive pat on the back and saying, fucking go for gold, mate. Like, keep smashing it. Most people will be like, I don't know, this is my opinion, but like possibly people that you've grown up with or you've associated with could be looking at you and go, like, who the fuck's he to have his own business, or why is he getting a new truck? Like,
and I think that stuff never stops. You know, every time you're doing well or you celebrate something, everyone's got to knock you back 100%. There's always that jealous person out there. But yeah, and you just got to keep moving forward, and it is going to upset people and you will leave people behind. But the new people you surround yourself love you for who you are, and that's what's true to you, you know?
Bang, Shay, we need a bomb button, mate. Like, he's dropping bombs. That is so true, eh?
Yeah,
like
it's just...
So
and they're just going to hold you back. If you're hanging around them, like, just cruising around doing sweet fuck all...
Yeah,
you're just gonna be a drone, but you just break the ice and get out there a bit.
I got two things for 2024 that I'm really focusing on. Number one is like, I want to show up, and like, I put this out on my socials, and a lot of people said, like, fuck me, like, aren't you already showing up? Like, I'm like, no, I want to be the best husband I can. Like, I want to be fit and healthy, and I want my wife to look at me and go, like, fuck, like, he's mine. I want to show up for my kids. I want my kids to look at me and
that's my dad.
Remember as they're growing up, like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
He's my dad spends a lot of time with me. I want my team at work to look at me and like think, fuck, like, he does all this to look after us and make sure we get paid. Like, I want to show up for everybody. And the other one is I want to come back to being more of myself. Like, I don't want to be shut up for swearing or saying the wrong thing or having my own opinion. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. Like, have you had to work through, like, because you just said you've got to leave people behind.
Yeah.
Like, that takes courage.
Yeah, and then, like, you know, even like doing my posts on Instagram and that, you know, like a few of my mates or whatever I've heard through the grapevine, you know, like, oh, why is he doing that? He looks like a bit of a dickhead. But it's like, that's what's true to me, you know, and I like doing that.
Mate, that's why I connected on that. Like, I saw one video. Like, I didn't even see it only took 5 seconds of that video for me to go, I want to reach out to this bloke.
Yeah.
Like, because he is being himself. He is who he is, and it's fucking awesome.
And that's a lot of, like, my energy does attract a lot of people because I am bouncy. I am 100 miles an hour, you know, but I like it, you know. I don't want to just be like cruising around, you know, like, get it done, get moving, let's go, you know, like, it's just a good way to be.
How did you overcome, and like, how did you get the courage to realise that you're going to have to leave people behind?
You just honestly, you just try not to think about it too much. They mean the world to you, but you just know that what you're doing is just going to benefit yourself and benefit your mindset as well. Because when you're around people that, you know, are a bit negative or, you know, don't have the best outlook on certain things, you hear it, you start to believe it, you know, it's just natural.
What do you listen to in your truck?
I'm honestly on the phone probably 10 hours a day.
The only reason I ask is it ties into what you're talking about. Like, I can't stand the radio or the news.
I won't listen. I literally talk to all my old garbage truck friends all day. On the phone, and then just answering the phone. I won't listen to the radio. I'll just chat to people. I'll go onto the job site, and that's what they say. All my mates call me Mrs. Mangle because I'll drop a skip off. It should take 15 seconds. I'm there for 25 minutes. You know, it's But I just love having a chat to people, you know. It's what I love doing.
Yeah. But, yeah, like I am so excited for you to just smash it out and do incredibly well. I really hope a lot of people will reach out after listening to this podcast in Brisbane and, well, mate, who knows, around Australia, you might end up national. But
that's what we want.
But like it does take a lot of courage to overcome so many things that you've talked about today. And I think the other thing that really excites me, and I hope it excites a lot of our listeners, especially the ones that that struggle, like it doesn't take a long time.
No.
Like how long from when your wife started that personal development and you started hearing about changing the story you tell yourself and all that sort of stuff, how long was it from when that started to when you made the call to go out? Like,
I'd probably say it was probably about 8 weeks, you know.
Shit.
Yeah,
I was expecting you to say eight years.
No, it was actually a very quick transition because it was always on the back burner, you know, and then it was just that final breakthrough that just coming over the limiting beliefs and, you know, why I can't do it and, you know, paying the bills, that steady income, that was a massive one, you know, like not having that money hit your bank account every Monday, you're super paid. If you need a sickie, you have the day off. There was none of that, you know, so it was just overcoming that and just, doing it.
Yeah. See, to me, that is just so inspiring. Like, because there's literally someone out there that'll listen to this podcast, and if they're smart enough to listen and take the advice, they're literally 8 weeks away from a new life.
Yeah. And that's why for all my mates and that, you know, I would love to give anyone advice on it. You know, it can be done. You just got to have the right mindset, right mind frame, and you can do it. If it's true to you and it's what you love, you'll get it.
Yeah, that's the sad thing is that you can't help people that don't want to be helped.
Oh, that's right. And you can tell people time and time again, but if they don't want to listen, it's just they don't want to listen, you know.
Yeah.
But you can just try guide them along, poke them along, your friends and family as much as you can.
Yeah. Fuck, I just realised I forgot to put my new level up hat on. But anyway, lucky most people listen and don't watch. For those that are listening, our merchandise is coming, so stay tuned for that. But mate, I got so many questions for you. I honestly just keep going off track. But do you think the message, like, so something happened, or your wife said something to you, or you heard something that she was listening to that connected with you? Like, do you feel like, looking back now, like, had you been told that message before by other people and it just hadn't connected?
Not really. Before my partner came into the personal development and mindset, I honestly didn't. You don't even really know it exists. You know what I mean? None of my mates or none of my family are into personal development or mindset or anything like that, you know? So It was actually all really new to me.
Yeah. Because one thing, and I just know from my own personal experience, like, people can tell me things 100 times, and unless what they're telling, unless I'm sort of in the zone, or even the words they use or how they say it or the timing when they say it, like, it just doesn't connect. And this, like, you'd know this from conversations with your partner. Like, how many times have you been told by your partner, like, fuck, I've told you that 100 times. Like,
that's right.
Now you think it's your idea. Like, that we're humans. And, like, if you and I are having a conversation and what you're telling me isn't on my radar, or it's something I'm not aware of, or I'm not interested in, or whatever the case may be, it probably will go in one ear and out the other.
Straight over the head, yeah.
And then we could be having the same conversation 6 months later, and for some reason, like, I'm in a different state, or I'm more chilled out, or whatever the case may be, like, I might be like, holy fuck, like,
light bulb moment.
Yeah. So, again, for people that are listening, so I get a lot of questions now saying that, like, you talk so much about your breath work and your personal development and all this type of stuff. And in my Live Life Build business, our Elevate community, it is a lot of personal stuff. because I know from my own experience, and even just now knowing your experience, you can have all the right structure, all the right documents, everything you need to run a good business. But if you're not in the right mindset and the headspace and in the right, or hanging around the right people, it doesn't matter what you've got. Your business is still going to be on that roller coaster.
That's
just
right.
up and down and losing money and whatever the case may be. So personal development is massive. So what are you doing now? Like, what's your personal development?
Well, right now I'm just sort of just playing it cool, just do my affirmations every day, and then moving forward, I want to start maybe trying to do a bit of journaling, putting down my goals and where we want to be in 2024 for Brains Bins.
Yeah. Do you do breath work? You were saying before your wife's...
Yeah, my wife's massive in the breath work, and we'll see. That might even come into me in 2024, you know? See what she can get me into this year.
Yeah. Well, mate, like, massive shout out to... I got a few people that do the breath work. Like my mate Justin from Inner Breath, like he's just absolutely kicking goals now with the stuff he's doing for mainly a lot in the building industry, but and then Johannes from Breathless Expeditions, like the stuff he's doing, like he's got a few free online breath sessions he does now. Like there's just so much available to people, so there's really no excuses, is there?
No, and you just got to give people a bit of education on it, you know, let them know what it does for you and how it can help.
Yeah. If we go back even further, mate, like what's your background like with schooling and stuff? Like, did you finish school?
Yeah, I went to Bracken Ridge for 2 years.
Yeah.
At high school, and then went to Sandgate for 3, and then went to be a trainee property manager for a couple of years at Callio & Scott in Brighton. That didn't work out, and then my sister worked at Superior Pack, and then the passion for garbage, she got me a job as a labourer, and then I just started there 19, and then worked there till 21, got a bit of training on hydraulics, electrical, became half a service technician sort of thing, and then straight into driving garbage trucks. Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Like it doesn't matter where your journey starts.
That's right. And you go from picking up bins on, people, doing cafes and that in Wilston and the Grange, you're picking up bins, there's maggots and people turning their nose up to you, wheeling the bin over to the truck and it's rotten, But you just think, and now 2 years moving forward, you just look back and go, God, look what we've created. It's amazing.
And now you've got your own business.
Yeah.
80 odd bins, brand new truck, just kicking goals.
2 years later after picking up waste, it's just amazing what a positive mindset and just what creating goals and where you want to be can create.
Yeah. So have you done any sort of mentoring? Like have you spoken or done anything about the business side of things? Like who's keeping you on track with all your books and like your numbers and making sure you're financially stable? And
so we just recently in 2024 got like a bit of a bookkeeper accountant, which got recommended by my local barber in Bracken Ridge, and so now he looks up, because that's what we also want to do 2024 is streamline it. So he looks after all of that now.
Yeah.
And we have a phone consult once a month, and he just says how he thinks the business is running and what we should do moving forward for that next month.
Yeah. Mate, a bit of advice, like get your head around the numbers. Like it's all good to have those people giving you that information, but you've got to have some understanding of like the most important is your overheads. Like what does your business physically take to run?
Yeah.
And I think businesses should review it weekly, like especially in your business, like with fuel fluctuation and all that sort of thing. Like you want to be on the ball so that like you don't want to get to a point where all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm actually not making money. Like I should have put my bins up $10 3 months ago. So and like my advice to you is don't do what I did and just sit on it and think, oh yeah, no, it's all right, I'm paying him, he's giving me the advice. Like ask him if you can sit, like just say, hey mate, like rather than do this on the phone, like can I come in with you and just like talk me through it.
Yeah, you get
like,
a bit more understanding.
Yeah. Like you got to, as a business owner, you have to be over your numbers. Like you need to know your break-even points. What does it take you to walk out the door each morning and actually have a business? And yeah, just constantly be reviewing it. Review the cost of your bins and like all those types of things, because things can change like in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you can go from making 10, 20, 30% to making 5.
Yeah.
So, I it's something I'm really passionate about, and I try and explain to a lot of people, like you don't have to be doing everything, but you need to make sure everything's getting done. Like you need to have enough understanding that you can look at it once a week, once a fortnight at a quick glance and go, yep, we're making money.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I think you're just an inspiring person, mate. And I really, really hope that there's a lot of people out there listening to this that, whether you've been in business for a long time or you're just starting, like they're inspired by how your growth has been. I think we should book in another one for bloody 12 months' time, and who knows, you might have 5 or 6 trucks by then.
Yeah, see how we go. That's the dream.
How do you, like, have you managed people before, like in any of your job?
No, I've always literally just been a truck driver pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'd have no idea how to manage anyone, you know. I'd be hopeless at doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why.
Yeah, you're telling yourself the wrong story there.
Yeah, that's right. I'm making up stories in my own head. So I'll break through that this year. You watch, I'll put someone on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just see where we come.
Yeah. And is there plans for your wife to come into the business and do more, or she got her own career? And
yeah, she'll hopefully move forward into the mindset coaching. She wants to be a coach, so I'm going to keep pushing her forward to do her coaching full time.
Yeah, good on her.
Yeah, so that'll be amazing. And then I'll just keep running the business and see if we can keep growing it.
Is there ever any conflict there? Like, because like I know, like my wife and I butt heads every now and then, because like I do all this personal stuff, and I'm like, oh, like you really should be doing this, and like she yells at me and screams at me and tells me what do I know, but like, is there a conflict there? Like, do you ever get home and your wife goes, oh, you should be doing this? And
oh yeah, I get that every now and then. Like I should be a bit more structured, or but that's just her trying to look out for me, and she's obviously just been doing that all day, and she's just finger on the pulse, and this is the way I can do it better.
Yeah. And it's all about having an open mindset, isn't it?
That's right. And you can walk in the door and go, oh, well, she know, or you can actually open your ears and say, oh, well, that's true. I need to take that on board for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's just where it comes down to mindset as well. If you come home grumpy or whatnot, you just got to come home and be in the right mindset.
Yeah.
Be grateful for what you've got.
It's really important, hey, especially when you got kids your age. Like I don't have very many regrets. Like something I've learned to let go is being regretful of past situations. But one of the ones that I do struggle with is the business just controlled me for so long. And like my eldest daughter, Lottie, like she's not long turned 13. Like the first 3, if not 4 years of her life, like I hardly seen her. Yeah. Like I'd be gone when it was dark, and I'd get home and she was asleep. Like most of the time I shouldn't lie, the only time I saw her was like I'd get up when she was crying through the night and give her a feed or sit with her or whatever, because that was the only opportunity I had, because of a day the business just controlled me, and that is a massive regret of mine. And that's why I'm on this mission now to, like, I've done it for a long time now, but I want to be the dad that puts enough time, energy and money into myself and sets my businesses up in ways that allows me to, if I want to drop them at school, I can drop them at school. If my wife needs a hand, I can give her a hand. If I want to pick them up, I can. Like if they're coming from school and they want to go and ride their scooter down the park, like I can do that.
That's right.
Like it's like I think you've got so much opportunity, mate, to have your mindset at your age and with a young family, like it must excite you. Like,
yeah, definitely excites me. Just see what 2024 brings, you know.
Yeah.
It's only just started, and I can see big things happening. Big things. Just don't know what yet.
Well, you need to do your thing in the morning, mate, and
I'll start. You keep up with my affirmations and my audit, and then we'll see what comes through the pipeline.
Yeah. Is that the only routine you have? Like, what else do you do? Like
that, and I walk the dogs of an afternoon.
Yeah.
That's my 2 routines.
What dogs are you got?
I got a German Shepherd and sausage dog. I got the best of both worlds.
I'm only laughing, mate, because my wife wants a sausage dog, and I'm like, how stupid would we look with a massive German Shepherd and a little sausage dog?
Every time you walk them, they go, mate, that's a weird combination. You go, yeah, I know, mate. But they're honestly the best friends, hey.
Yeah.
So
that is funny as we were at the coast one day, and these couple of sausage dogs came along, and one of them was like along the boardwalk down to the beach, tried to go down the stairs, and it literally just kept going head over.
Yeah, legs were too short, kept rolling.
So that's your chill out, like you
yeah,
just get home and spend some time with the kids and take the dogs for a walk.
take the dogs for a walk, go for a walk around the park, and
it's super important to have your own time, isn't it?
Yeah, and just a bit of exercise too, you know, just stretch the legs, been in the truck all day, just go for a bit of a walk, clear your head, see what comes to life.
Yeah. Is the truck auto or manual?
The old one was auto, so I'm blessed now we've got an auto. I don't know myself. Even something like that, you know, going from a manual up hills with the bin clanging, chains clanging. Now it's just reverse, straight up, piece of cake. Much easier.
It's well, at least you can drive a manual, but we've I think it's so funny, like the way the world's gone, and everything is fucking easy. Like people whinge that they can't be successful in this day and age. Like we are living in the easiest times possible, and we've been lately, like just prior to Christmas, we had break-ins everywhere around here, and they got into our yard, but like Walter bloody bailed them up and chased them out. But the funny thing is, like, they've been stealing shitloads of cars. If they break into your car and it's a manual, they don't take it because they can't drive it.
Wow.
So having a manual is actually a security
so everyone
device.
buy manuals. Yeah.
Like, can you believe we live in a world where young kids just have no idea of how to drive a manual car?
Well, that's right. Now all the new automatic cars, you hit reverse and it reverse parks it for you. So soon people won't even know how to park.
Yeah.
You know, so everything is just getting easier and easier. Same as the new truck. It's got a remote, so I can see where the bin's going. So if I'm close to an awning or roof, I'm there. The old truck had the old levers. I'd have to walk backwards and forwards like 50 times.
Yeah.
Now I'm just
done.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, isn't it? Because you need a lot of that stuff that they're taking away from us because they think that they're making things more efficient is actually completely ruining common sense and life skills.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Common sense and life skills. They're just going out the window.
Yeah, like some of the things what would happen if you're out with a bunch of mates camping or whatever and someone injures themselves and they got a manual car?
Yeah.
Like, do they die because you fucking didn't know how to drive a manual car?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, just silly little things. But, mate, look, we'll wrap it up. It's been an absolute pleasure having a chat to you. I'll talk to Shay, but I'm deadly serious. I would love to have you back in 12, 18 months and have another chat and see your growth and where you're at and what you've become because, yeah, like you have just dropped bombs everywhere today. And look, where can people get in contact with you?
Just Instagram or just give us a call on the mobile. Yeah.
You're on the phone all day, so they can
I'm on the phone all day. There's no excuse not to answer.
Yeah, no, well, look, hopefully you've been inspired by this podcast today. And, look, if you're in what you do, north side of Brisbane, inner city Brisbane.
Yeah, north side and inner city. If you need a skip, let us know. Yeah,
give him a buzz because you will end up on his socials having a shout out and getting a little bloody, what is it? Yip, yeah.
Chee-hoo.
No, mate, really appreciate you coming on. And
sweet. Yeah, thanks, Duayne.
Really, really excited about your future. So, look, guys, if you love the episodes, make sure you subscribe, like, share, all those types of things because, we're on a mission in 2024 to make this podcast number one in the construction industry, and we can only do that with your help. So cheers, we'll see you on the next one.
Are you ready to build smarter, live better, and enjoy life? Then head over to livelifebuild.com/elevate to get started.
Everything discussed during the Level Up podcast with me, Duayne Pearce, is based solely on my own personal experiences and those experiences of my guests. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. We recommend that you obtain your own professional advice in respect to the topics discussed during this podcast.